Good afternoon. You're here at the Big East Blackout with our guest, Wais P. Co-host Gully D is here. I'm the indelible Dame O. Pretty Bully will be joining us in a little bit. Wise, what's going on, baby?
Oh man, just happy to be on the show, man.
I appreciate it.
You know what I
And
mean?
we appreciate it. I just tell the people, we had tried to do this before and had a little technical difficulty. So this is not the first time we've spoken to you, but it's first time for any of the viewers seeing it, man. So
Right.
definitely, man, you look good, man. You look like you're healthy. You're looking like you're just feeling life right now.
Yeah, man. So now I'm in a good place, man. Thanks for saying that, man. But I'm in a good place, man. So
Yeah. And I noticed you were on, I have no problem mentioning other shows or whatever. I don't know the name of the show though. It was a show that you were on recently, I guess, with a cooking show.
Yeah, copious amounts.
Okay. What now? Are you a vegetarian?
Vegan, yeah.
You're vegan. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Because I saw that he was cooking that. I didn't know if he were just doing it for that episode or whatever. I was actually a vegetarian for 4 years before I met my wife. And then she was like, I'm not cooking that for you. And I put on some weight. And now I've gone back. I've gone back to it. I could never be vegan though. I was ovo-lacto. I'm ovo-lacto. So I will eat some egg products and milk products. I don't drink milk. I drink almond milk and stuff, but I definitely feel better doing that, So let's get into it a little bit here, brother. Now going back a little here, we know of Wais P. Wais P the pimp. Wais P the what did you say? I'm really just a Mac, but my swag says killer. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
Says killer? Okay, that's what you said when I see it. I want to make sure I said it right there.
Yeah.
So, that was my first time hearing you outside of the Rangers, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's as you said on the song, ain't that the kid from the Rangers?"
Yeah.
So I want to go back a little here, and I want to go back to the Rangers, and something I didn't ask you before, and how exactly did you get signed by Rockefeller with the Rangers? Like, how did that happen?
When you're young and you're hungry, and I used to go up to it. Jay was still in the projects at the time, and I used to go over there to his sister's crib and just spit. He would spit. You know what I'm saying? And then he moved to downtown, and we used to go over there and just rap. He was the only one. I'm from Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Wasn't nobody from Crown Heights that ever did anything on a major scale, like made a record. You know what I mean? So that was, to me, I'm young. I'm like, man, he doing something. I don't care if it's big or not. He's doing something. I'm there. You know what I'm saying? And we developed a rapport from there. So we never really signed to Rockefeller because we was with B-High, who's a great man. He managed Bleak, still works up at Rock Nation. And he wanted us to do something. He wanted us to grow. They were always trying to grow. They were always business-minded. So we were Rockefeller alum, and which made Dame upset at the time because he wanted us on Rockefeller. And but we were on Carter Faculty, Def Jam.
That's right, later. Carter Faculty. That's right.
Yeah.
I remember Gully. I remember on BOK they played it was a song by you guys, and I think Jay-Z at the beginning of the song was saying, Carter Faculty, saying something. He was talking at the beginning. I remember hearing that. Yeah, and I was like, and I can't remember what that first single was.
That's Arms Up. That was produced by Buck Wild, fresh off of Woe, and Hove was on fire, and he was on the hook, and Def Jam dropped the ball.
Yeah, and then we talked about that before. Yeah, we did talk about that, and for the listeners, I say that when you're on there and Def Jam dropped the ball, do you feel at that time, because of their focus being on some of the other artists at the time, we know DMX was just killing everything in sight. Red Man, you had Method Man, Year to the Man, all this other stuff that's going on, all these different things going on. You feel like you kind of got caught in the numbers? Because there's another artist, in my opinion, who got caught in that too, was Cormega, who
there's a bunch of us.
Jam, who just didn't
Music Soul Child.
Music Soul Child.
We were starting all at the same time. So what happens was the powers that be, we know who they are. They did something called billing. They had 4 to 5 artists that were just killing the game at the time. And they had their eyes set on going someplace else and growing, and going to another place. So what they said was, okay, we got all these other artists, but if we just keep recycling, that's that moment you said where they just year to man. Everybody was just, you know, I think DMX had 2 albums in 1 year, which was unheard of back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they just kept billing and billing and billing so that when they did their deal with the other company, which was Warner Brothers, they could get more money. Basically, they could say, look, you know, look what we built this last couple of years. You know, this, so they weren't trying to put anything into anybody new at the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and go ahead, Gully.
So basically, he's saying like they were just focusing on those artists because they felt like that's what was working at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
and
they didn't want to give. They didn't want to give nobody else the shot a chance because of that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like what a streaming farm would be today. You know what I'm saying? Except they did that. They ran the numbers up on those artists so that they could say, look what we did. You got to pay us this because look what this is what we're responsible for. You know what I mean?
And we saw too on the special that they had. I think it was on BET. You know, they had the Rough Riders one and the one about Master P and them. The Rough Riders one, they said how Leo Cohen came in and said to him right after the album had been crazy. The first DMX, he came back and said, I think it was like, we'll give you $1 million. We need another album for you right now. I bet, like, kind of like, I bet you can't do it. And we'll give you $1 million. And they went and did it. And he has 2 in the top 10, you know what I'm saying? In the same year, which is crazy. You know, he comes back with the second joint. There were so many different artists that you hear about. When it comes to you, I mean, you're on Def Jam, you're a Carter faculty, but you look at Christian on Rockefeller, the singing group.
Talented Brothers.
Yeah, the Ghetto Serrano album, which was so dope. You had Crew with the Dirty 30. That was another one that they had a dope album, and it just got.
Shout out to Yogi.
Yeah, Yogi and them. And Yogi's on your album, isn't he? The new joint, right?
Yeah, multiple times.
He's on Son of a. And I want to ask you about that too. You know, I'll get back to Yogi in a moment. But I loved Crew, the Dirty 30. A lot of people never heard the album, but those who did loved that album. It was funny. It had the beats. You had Black Rob on there. You had Tracy Lee on there. You had Antoinette on there. I mean, my God, you had so many different people. Shout out to Tracy Lee because he's originally from here in Buffalo, New York, too, by the way. A lot of people don't know.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him.
I wanted to ask you, too, you know, because we said first that Rockefeller experience, like what happened with that, with the label and things. But what were some of the good things that you experienced being around there with them, like that feel, just that whole vibe?
Oh, it was all good. I got none. There ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying, that needs to be said any otherwise. It was lyrically sparring. You had to spar. You know what I'm saying? You had to have bars. It wasn't what it is now. You know what I'm saying? Cats would tell you quick, man, go back in and redo that. You had to be nice. You know what I'm saying? So it was just being around a bunch of talented cats, sharpening your sword every day. You know what I'm saying? Even to this day, you know, me and Sauce Money, shout out to him, we do something called a guard out. Like I'll wake up, Susan 7, 8. If my phone ringing is him, he's just, hey, what's up? You up? You know I'm up. Better be up. And it's bars. You know what I'm saying? And then I catch him. And if you oversleep, if I call you, I can't get you between 8, 9, 10 in the morning. But I do get you, but you slipped. You know what I'm saying? So
that's dope. That's dope.
That's what's up.
So you mentioned Sauce Money because he's another one. He actually never signed to Rockefeller. Right?
No.
Yeah, and you know, for whatever reasons, I always wondered why he didn't, you know, and then other things went on it, and we know his story a little bit and how there, in my opinion, seems to be a blacklisting of him, and he's such a talented artist. You know, I mean, we don't have to go into his details. If he want to talk about that to us one day, he can do that. You know, we ain't gonna go into his business.
I hope there's not a blacklist. I hear about this blacklist. I hope, man, you know, I hope cats don't go out of their way to stop people from feeding their family. But it seems like a lot of people coming out saying, you know, that it is. You know, when I saw Irv Gotti, who's somebody I looked up to into the game, always gave me, you know, great advice and, you know, letting you know, man, y'all cats is the illest. You know what I'm saying? When he admitted that thing about Homeboy, I mean, they had real beef, but I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? That hurt me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
People do that. My thing is don't block your own blessings by fucking somebody else's up, you know? So you have the Ranjahz, you know, so obviously you had this connection that you met Jay-Z before he was Jay-Z, you know? I mean, he was coming up and everything else, so that's where that came from. Your partner in rhyme with the Ranjahz, what was his name again?
Half.
Okay. And
HAPH, half animal, part human.
Yeah, he definitely animal now. I see he looking like he's all about the weights and everything. And the times I've seen him, and I'm like, yo, he's doing things now with fitness and things right now. That's kind of what he
Yeah,
went
he's doing
into.
fitness. He's doing fitness. He's doing production,
Mm-hmm.
and he does videography.
Nice.
He's one of the most talented dudes I've ever witnessed. Like overall, like he taught himself to play the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, taught himself to play the piano.
Mm-hmm.
Taught himself to make beats. Taught himself to engineer. Taught himself to be a videographer.
That's
He can
good.
cut hair. Like he's one of them. I'm like, yo, man, you just do everything, man. Like he's a real talented brother.
And it sounds like you still have a very good relationship with him, huh?
Yeah. He just, you know, the game, you know, affects people different ways. He's not really into the rapping side of it anymore because, you know, when you peel back the layer of the industry, you know, and you see that the Easter Bunny ain't real, you know, it affects certain people different. You know,
some people just want no more of it. They want no more. I'm done. You know.
Yeah.
But we know that once that happened, and y'all. So what happened? Carter Faculty never really came out, correct? As a label, like really, and then did you ask for your release, or did they just say, "Hey, it ain't working," or how did that?
Yeah, no, we asked to be let go because we saw that it was nothing happening. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, we see where they spending their resources at. You know, it's not being spent over here. There was even a record. Remember that record, Round and Round We Go?
Yeah.
Really? Forget her name. Was it Janelle?
Yeah,
I forget the moment.
She was on the DJ High Tech album. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah. We did a unsolicited remix to that, and it actually got added to the radio. And it was a Def Jam record. Mm-hmm. So we went in and told Def Jam, yo, people love the remix we did to it. They're playing it on the radio. You know, let's go full force with it. Who ended up on that record?
Method Man, right?
There you go. That was the year that they just wanted to keep. But we were on it first.
Wow. And that was a hit too.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't major, but it was a hit where it was getting that radio play. Yes.
It got added in Pittsburgh. Yeah. It got light rotation in New York and a couple other. Excuse me, I don't know. We went dark. Yeah, and a couple other places, and they pulled the record, like physically. Def Jam said, "No, don't play that one. Play this one." And we said, "Okay, they're not rocking with us."
Yeah, that had to hurt. That had to hurt. So you get up out of there and y'all leave and you go your own way and you put out the album independently. What was it? He Who Knows? Was that the title of it?
Who Feels It Knows.
Who Feels It Knows. I'm sorry. I apologize. And I have that album. I actually found it, Gully, I found it at Record Theater. Remember Record Theater used to be up on Main Street by UB?
Right.
I was in there going to buy something else, and I go look at the used CDs, and I see a section. I see Ranjahz, like in the new section. Mm-hmm. And it was mad independent looking. I'm like, oh, snap. So I bought it, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. And I was like, I didn't even know they came out with nothing. And then I just didn't hear anything else for a long time.
Yeah.
After that, but I bought it off of the strength of the few songs that I had heard. You know, the song The Streets Is Watching, the joint off of Hard Knock Life. You know, just hearing these different things. That's what made me go for it. And the song that I heard that was on Carter Faculty. So you guys leave the label. TH decides he doesn't want to do it anymore. You decide to go solo, but it's a while before you come out with some music. Like I said, I'm totally shocked when I see it's in the game. Totally shocked. And I ain't going front. Before I even heard the song, the fact that it looked like the EA Sports video game cover is what made me kind of like go like, oh, this is sweet. You know, like literally you got the fur on. I'm like, yo, this is sweet right here. You know, this looks sweet. I'm gonna give it a listen. And then I heard You See It. I was like, oh shit, this is the joint. And then, you know, you doing that and some of your other ones, and we'll go through that real quick. But why the delay between the Ranjahz album and then coming with It's in the Game? Why
I was in the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I was in the streets doing what I do, you know what I'm saying? And knowing that now I gotta retool. I gotta come with something fresh. I can't rap about the same thing I was rapping about when I did If I Should Die, because I'm not the same person. And like we had spoke before, I like to give people me. I want to give you my life as it is in the moment, unless I'm doing a song that's reflecting. You understand what I'm saying? So I was in the streets doing what I was doing, and Cat ran down on me. He's like, yo, man, we out here doing this thing too. That people think that it's only in the West and only in the South. And man, we run around here in Bentleys and Rolls Royces and Maseratis. They think we selling drugs. Hey man, we ain't doing that, man. You know what I mean? So we ain't wearing hats and all that. We wearing Avirexes at the time. Avirexes and Air Force Ones, but we out here pimping. You know what I mean? So I said, yo, okay. I'm in the field with y'all. So I could talk about this, and I'm G1 class certified, like Shaq, like because I'm out here. You run my name from Portland, Oregon, Portland, Maine, and any nigga in my age range gonna know I was in the game. You know what I mean? So that's when I hit it right back. That's when I said, all right, I'm back in. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing something now that nobody's doing. Look, I'm over here doing something different, and I'm keeping it super lyrical. You know what I'm saying? And keeping it still New York.
You definitely are keeping it in New York, because one thing I will say, well, there's a lot of good things that could be said about you and about your skill set, but a lot of people who would kind of have I guess pimping as part of what they do, and in the rhymes and stuff, would be a little bit more misogynistic and just gravitate more to the sex rhymes. Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
This is a good sex rhyme. Talk Like Sex by Cool G Rap is one of my favorites of all time. I mean, I get it. There's some joints out there. You didn't really do that though. You'll touch on some things. You'll say some different stuff. But as you said in one of your other songs, you said have a little bit of knowledge too. So you're saying some real stuff, and you sprinkle in the pimping in there. It's in there. The pimping is in the game. It's in the game. But but you're not going with it just let me just talk nasty talk. I ain't on no True Live Crew type stuff. No, not you don't. The lyricism is still what's driving it all.
Yeah, and that's on purpose. That's definitely the way I envision it, and I want to keep it. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted it to be different. I wanted it to scream New York. I wanted to speak for them brothers that was out there on, Park Avenue and down at the Waldorf, and you know what I'm saying? Really standing 10 toes tall, with motherfucking 60 toes down, 6 different women out there getting it, and they listen. They don't listen to that. They listen to cats like us. So
right.
They want to hear a little bit of themselves in there.
Right. So
that's real, man. Because it's like when you elevate in life or whatever you're doing, you still want to have that type music for them days or for them times where them people back there, like, yeah, I could do that too. You know what I mean? Just because we live in different lives now, and I'm still repping for y'all. I still know where I come from.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, I want to be that. I want them to put on my tape right before you get ready to go to the club, right before you get ready to go get at a bitch, right before you go get it, to go get your money. Like play that pimp shit, man. I'm getting ready. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Motivation.
Yeah. Might slip up and call your shorty a bitch. Don't get in trouble.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't need that type of problem right now. You ain't gonna be able to help me. You got yours. You can't help me. You know what I'm saying? I got. I'll be coming to you like, yo, I'm out somewhere. Help me out. She put me out.
Like, apologize, nigga.
There we go. That's all I could do, right? Apologize.
That's it.
But yo, so let's go down real quick here. Of we had It's in the Game. Let's go down that. That was your first joint. I as I told you before, of course, You See It was my joint, and Game and Claim is my joint off of there. I love Game and Claim. I love it because it just sounds like you're having so much fun. MC Wais P, people call me PIMP. And you just the whole thing, and they got your girl under the desk. She don't even work here. It just sounds like you just having so much fun. It just sounds so old school, and in my brain, I just had a visual of you at a players ball or something, with Ice-T presenting you an award or something like that. I don't know. That's just what I saw. Just like Game and Claim. You better, and they just like, and the pimps, you coming in and everything. And they give you the award. It's just I got this visual of that, and that's the feel that I got of it. Game and Claim. I had an uncle who was into that stuff back in the day growing up. He used to always hit me, man, you better let him know what you want to do, barbecue and mildew. And I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? I never could understand. You know, he would hit you with all the different things. And so when some of the things you say, I'm like, yo, that sound like him. That sound like
That's
that.
what's up.
That's like he used to say back in the day. Oh, that's what he meant back then. I'm little. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but you know, I know now.
He was giving you scriptures. I'm glad I could bring that feeling back for you.
Thanks to you, Wais P, for helping me understand what my family was saying back then. I appreciate it. But I love that album. Your next, now you know what? These are mix. They call them mixtapes. I call them street albums because they're really not mixtapes. It's all new music. I mean, so when you drop an official album, I'm like, well, he already has albums, but we're gonna call it what it is, a mixtape. The one after that was the Primo Pimpin', right?
Yeah.
Primo Pimpin' came next.
Yeah.
Now, I got a couple of questions on Primo Pimpin'. My favorite joints are Primo Pimpin', Multiple Sclerosis, Lessons, but Come Back to Collect was my joint.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to tell you this right now, and I even put a note on here. That was an incredible lyrical display on Come Back to Collect.
Thank you.
It really showed that if anybody thought that you couldn't spit and they're like, oh, he just talking some pimp stuff. If they say play one Wais P song, of course you hear, you know, you see it and all that, but they say something that shows his just a skill. I would say put on Come Back to Collect and tell me he can't spit with anybody. Tell me he can't. You know, that joint right there. I love that joint. I love it. And I love amphitheater too. But I mean, that joint, Come Back Collect, was just like, I was kind of like, damn, he's going for his. How did you get those tracks from Primo? I know you have worked with him. So how'd you get those?
What happened was that's my big bro. You know, he's always telling me how great I am, never to stop working with me. You know what I'm saying? And he says he put out sort of like a lost tape kind of thing, like Nas did, but just beats. So I called him. I said, you know, I gotta go. I need your blessing. I'm not gonna do no non-sanctioned shit. I need this to be sanctioned. He said, go ahead. I ain't gonna let nobody else do it. I said, all right, cool. I went in.
I like that. I like that because I'm like, no, these ain't beats that I know. You know, I know he did a couple of instrumental joints, and I'm like, but a lot of people don't know about them. You know, a lot of people don't know about them. But that right there, yo, I mean, the beats fit perfect. You going crazy on it. I mean, I loved it. I loved it. Then you come.
That's a multiple. Pardon me. That multiple sclerosis. I made that for my man. His name is Bakey. We call him. His name is Bake. You know what I mean? He used to play ball. Nice. You know what I'm saying? Like ranked, would have went D1 and came down with multiple sclerosis. You know what I mean? I did that record for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that was what'd you say? My muscles don't work, but I'm still murking.
Yeah. Muscles don't work, but still rappers get murked.
But still rappers get murked. Yeah. I thought that was a slick play on words. And there's actually a lot more of us in our community who do have MS that people don't realize. We're hit hard, like more than you think. And lupus and MS, you see a lot of.
Yes.
We already knew that. You know, we're susceptible to from birth for other stuff. You know, like sickle cell. But that right there, those two are ones. So for you to even bring awareness to that, and at the end when you shouted him out and explained that too, I thought it was a dope play on words, and I'm sure he appreciated that.
Oh yeah, he's asking for a part two.
Okay, gotta give him a part two then.
Yeah, so you're gonna want that part two after hearing that. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna have to do it like the Jane series with EPMD. Give them one each joint. You know, you're gonna do it like that. So then after you do Primo Pimpin', you do Random Pimp, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Random Pimp, a lot of people who are watchers, if you don't know, Random Acts was a group that was Sean Price, Black Milk, and was it Guilty Simpson?
Guilty Simpson.
Dope album on Duck Down. I think they had done stuff before, and then they finally did this project. So they had this dope project, the late great Sean Price, rest in peace. Black Milk, who's one of the most underrated producers around, who always comes with some fire. Guilty Simpson, who's always consistent. You come out and you put out this record using some of the tracks from that album. Now, did you know Sean Price at all?
For sure.
Okay, you definitely know him. Okay.
For sure. That's home team. And I called once again. I don't do for what do you say, Fugazi? I don't do fake shit. I can't do it. Can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I told you I called Planet Asia for that record him and Mussolini did, and they said some pimp shit. And I'm like, what? I'm not on that, Asia. I'm like, send me the instrumental. He's like, no. Wise, we're gonna do something else. I said, all right. So I didn't do it. I could have just ripped it and did it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't do unsanctioned shit. So but I called Sean, got his blessing. Then I called my man Drew Ha, that runs the label, and got his blessing to do it. And then I did it. And I'm one of the first. We talked about this last time. One of the first to give motherfuckers their flowers when they alive. Because that random action was so dope. Yeah, so amazing to me. I had to show them I love them by doing what I did to it.
Mm-hmm. And that shows that, as we said before, it shows that how you're still connected to that underground. You are of the underground. But it showed that even though it's not the same subject matter that you deal with, that they deal with, the love that you have for them. And that is truly giving flowers to somebody while they're here, because you're like, yo, if I like it, I like it, whether it's my style or not, or whether we're not the exact same subject matter, the lyricism, everything else, it fit, and you fit those beats. And I'm like, oh, he had listened to this album. This wasn't just like somebody said, why don't you try to do this? You knew that album.
Yeah. You know, they said, you know, certain Star Wars names. I flipped it with the Lando Calrissian. You know, everything was definitely, it wasn't just a rip or some shit I didn't listen to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I got footage of me and Sean performing it live. He made.
Oh wow.
I mean, we said, what was that? It was in DC. Mm-hmm. I'm not booked. I am just there to support the homies. You know what I'm saying? Random ass performing. He calls me up on stage. I barely even remember the record. He make it do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? He made me do it anyway. And I did one verse to try to get off the stage. He said, no, the second verse. And we did the second verse. He's rocking right there with me, arm on my shoulder, man. RIP, man.
Yeah, definitely. Now off that joint, my favorite joints are, you know, I like it. It's actually short. You didn't do every song that they did off of the thing, but you did. Yours was a little bit shorter. Your thing. But Player Call and Hex Hawking, my two joints.
Shout out to Hex, man.
Yeah.
You know, Hex is my man, you know?
Yeah, Hex Hawking. And you know what? Like I said, I like the complete projects, but these are just favorites. These are ones that just are my favorite. Like you say, you can only go to these ones, and these are the ones I'm going to first. You know, these are the ones I'm going to play first. So we go from there, and then unfortunately you're away for a while. Right?
Yeah.
I know we talked about that before, but for the listeners, if you can kind of explain a little bit about what happened, you know.
Well, what happened was, you know, I mean, I got caught up in they actually tried almost to do like a RICO thing, but they couldn't prove that we were all moving as one unit, because we weren't. We were all independent proprietors.
I understand.
But you know, I was connected with one cat, and he was into other stuff. You know what I mean? He was doing so many different things and moving reckless. He was a little bit younger, and he got caught up. And they tapped his phone, and then you know, everybody that was on his phone, they took everybody down. So they called me because I was the only one that was in the music, and they said, "Listen, man, you know, because this is what they try to do. They're still doing it to this day. You know what I mean? They'll snatch it. Anybody that got something going for themselves, they take you in the room and they tell you, listen, man, this is what you're facing. We don't want you. We want your man. He's taking us to trial, and we need you to put the case together and make sure, you know what I'm saying? We need help." So as I politely told them to take me back to my cell, you know, they say, "You're gonna do 15. And they start scaring the shit out of you. I'm like, 15? Goddamn, I was just pimping. You know, but nah, you know, I was guilty. You know what I'm saying? I remember I told you before, I'm not gonna get on here and act like I got caught up with some shit that I wasn't doing. I was guilty. So, you know, they say that shit in Godfather. This is the life we chose. We knew what we was getting into. So I had to sit down. I ended up getting 5 and did 42 months off of that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that was that. So now you asked me one time why I'm going so much harder now is because they won't let me pimp no more. I ain't going down twice.
You know what? Yeah. Because one thing I love is honesty, bro. Thank you. I like honesty, you know. you know, and that's, hey, I don't know how hard it is to not pimp. I've never been a pimp myself, but I can truly say that I don't know if it's hard, like trying to quit cigarettes or whatever, but I'm glad that you I'm I'm glad that that you're doing what you're doing here, man. And I don't want to see you go away again. Gully,
Right.
I want to tell
Right.
you here about him too. A couple of different things. You know, when you give the flowers, I just want to say to him, and I said this to him before, but since you're here and you weren't for it, um, as you see, I got my little Biggie things in the background and stuff. You know, I got my little Biggie and all that stuff. You know,
Yeah.
thing. But my man Wise inspired me with this right here. This was,
That
I'm a
is
New York
so
Mets
dope.
fan. It's not as dope as the one that he had on his joint that he put pictures up of, but I saw him with one,
Right.
and I'm a Mets fanatic since I was little. And I said, ooh, and this girl I know named Adrian, shout out to Adrian. She here in Buffalo, she does a lot of different glasses and cups. I had her make me one. I showed her yours. And she said, "Oh shit, I don't think I can do that one." I said, "Well, you ain't gotta do it. I don't want to bite the man's style. Just give me something, you know, this
Right.
type." And she
That's
gave me
nice
that.
right there. That's fire.
Yeah, and I just have it this
Mhm.
thing, never drinking out of it or anything. But you inspired that. But again, I used to manage Gully Jimmy Dukes, you know, the producer who is in Buffalo, who's worked with like Styles P and all them a lot,
Right.
and a lot.
Right.
You know, everybody knows Jimmy does some
Mhm.
incredible stuff. But when I used to manage him, the first person that ever even gave Jimmy's stuff a listen from me was Wais P. And this was I've reached out to him just randomly, and he listened to his assistant. And he was like, "Yo, I like it." Unfortunately, he then went away, and I was just
Yeah.
like, I was crushed. I was like, "Oh, I think we might have been working with it. We weren't even trying to do it for the money. We were trying to do it for he's hot right now. He's got these
Mhm.
joints out, and
Mhm.
he's dope. It's a dude from the Ranges." So I thank you for that again. I always say that. Thank you. You know, that was real to
Absolutely.
me. You didn't know us. You know, you didn't have to listen to shit. And then when you came home and I saw you on Instagram, I mentioned it to you, and you kind of remember. You were like, "Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, okay, I do kind of remember that. I do. I do." So
Yeah.
you
I
know,
missed out. He's huge now.
yeah. Well, you know what? He's still around, brother. He's still available. You know, he's available. He's not big headed at all. You know, Jimmy's a really good dude, very humble. So he's available. You know, but you know, when you went in, I'm sure that had to be very tough while you're in there. I think we discussed before you having the honey buns and stuff. You know, it's like
Yeah.
go the
Yeah.
gold, this negotiating tool. You know, I had a cousin who was like, "Yo, man, send me the hostess joints, man. I like the fruit pies." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yo, they train when they playing dominoes or cards or something, or whatever they doing. That's the trade off. You paying with this, you paying with these with that type of stuff." So did
Hey,
you put on a lot of weight while you were in there?
yeah, I did. You know, I was depressed when I first got in there. Like, damn, they're trying to give me 15. I'm fighting, spending all this money on lawyers and and whatever else and everything. You're still trying to keep up on the outside, and it's like, damn, you know what I mean? And I just went into this mode where I was like, all right, I got a bid. You know what I'm saying? And so you start eating, and then you realize next to you like 260, 270. You're like, what the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then I got my shit together. And if you ain't got no honey buns and none of that, you can't send a hit. You can't do nothing in jail. You ain't got that shit is cash, baby. You can't get a haircut. You go down to the bar, but they calling everybody. Then it's a movement. You like, I ain't getting no cut. You know what I'm saying? You got to go
Right.
back to your cell. You
Wow.
got to have that currency.
Mm-hmm. Now you said before too that while you were away, you didn't write any rhymes. You did no rhyming.
Not one. Not one.
Not one.
So what
I
was
have
it?
to.
Was it writer's block, or was it you just wasn't ready to rap like that?
Nah, I'm bidding. It was. Life inspires me. You know what I'm saying? Life inspires me. Everything I rap about, it's about something that happened in my life or something that happened in somebody's life close to me. It's experience. It's something. It's like like Jay said, I don't record, I recall. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm giving you. And then when I was in there, I was focused on, what I'm saying, doing my bit. You know what I'm saying? And I told him before, like I was at commissary when I finally got upstate. And cat ran down on me. He was like, "Yo, you the dude from?" Nah, that ain't me. That niggas ain't gonna have me in the yard spitting 100 bars. Trying to yo battle monster. Nah. I'm trying to hide the ice pick in the lawn part right next to the pull-up bar, just like you, nigga. I'm not trying to be out here barring niggas up. That's not happening.
Right.
Trying to do his bid. You know what I'm saying?
And
So yeah,
when
I didn't write one rhyme. I didn't,
So you never got the
Nah.
desire when they would kind of be like, ain't you? You didn't want to say, let me just show these dudes real quick. You didn't get that?
No. No.
Wow.
No desire to do that.
So how does somebody like yourself, who had this streak right there, where I was thinking was going to probably be next coming up, you know, as you go away, you're gone 42 months, don't write any rhymes whatsoever. How do you get back into the mindset of even wanting to get back into the game at all once you come out? Because I mean, I'm not trying to be in your pockets or anything, nothing like that, but you had to spend a lot of money on attorneys. You had probably a lot of different things going on. I mean,
lost all 4 cars. Let's keep it. I put it out there. Lost all 4 cars. You know, I talked about that on a record called Signs with Terminology. Took my house from me. Took my Porsche from me. You don't think I'm home hungry? Yeah, I don't jump off this shit. I bungee. You know what I mean? You know, I'm skied all over it. Then make her take a plan B because I ain't got a plan B. I mean, that's real life. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no plan B. This is it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, luckily I had investments out here in Colorado with the houses and all that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, this is it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I came home and it's like, you're busy. And, you know, Static Selector, my brother, shout out to him. Terminology, my brother, shout out to him. They put me on as much stuff as possible to say, like, we don't want you to go back. We don't want you in the streets. So, hey, get on this, get on this, get on that. You know what I'm saying? So.
And some of the things I heard, like on the Static Selector album and everything else, some of the songs on there, and the one on the rooftop with Rascas and them on that one song or that video, with Apollo Brown and them. You said that stuff was done before you went in. Is that what you said?
Before.
Apollo.
And I was on shout out to Static. I was on every Static album he dropped while I was in jail, from verses and stuff I had done before. He ain't had to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. I've only missed one album, and that's the one he dropped on Mass Appeal. I've been on all his albums, you know, other than that.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So
yeah, that is. And I applaud you for coming back into the game. So what made you just say, fuck it, I'm getting back in here? I know you said that's all you know, but it seems like you came back because when we talk about these new albums and the new projects, you come back, and the first one that I hear as you come back is Chinchilla, I think, right? Chinchilla's the first one. Yeah, and we talked about that. And Chinchilla, the first single, You Never Know, which is kind of like very reflective song. A song, like I said, that it seems like you were just coming back like, wow, like, yeah, hey, you really don't realize who's in your corner or not. You know, you really don't till you go through some shit. That's the way I felt it. You know, that's how I felt it. And I was like, damn, my man's saying some stuff. And then, you know, very reflective, and then you come back with stuff like Real Nigga Laws and and time is money, and it's so easy with terminology. Those songs that are named are my favorite ones on there too. Dope album, but those are the ones like, you know, Real Nigga Laws is hilarious. You know, it's hilarious, but you spitting. You know, it makes me want to go to a players ball with you if you ever go to one just for the heck of it. So just remember me. You know, I'm in Buffalo. You can I'll find my own way there. I won't get in the way. Me and Gully will both go. We won't be in your way. We'll stay out the way. We'll just be like, yo, we with him, and we'll go sit in the corner somewhere and just watch the
Got you.
That's a fact.
But that album was dope. That's a dope album.
Thank you, man. That footage too is really me coming out of Queensborough jail when I got the white T-shirt on with the paperwork in my hand and the khakis. That's really because, you know, when you come down, they always put you in the smaller houses, you know, to do your last 4 to 6 months before you be released and shit. And that was really footage of that. You know what I mean? Once again, giving people my life. You know what I mean? And just saying, you never know, because I went to court first. I had just came off. I had just came off the Smokers Club tour.
Oh.
I just finished tearing down Best Buy Theater with, you know, Meth Red headlining and Be Real and all that, and Burner. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I was an opener, and we just did the tour with them. I didn't know I was under investigation. I knew I was getting followed and other shit like that before I went on tour. But I didn't know they had my phone tapped and all that shit. So I did Best Buy Theater, which was the last show, went to court for something else, something light. And the motherfuckers like, you such and such, get up, put your hands behind your back. Remember I told you before, I almost screamed, for what? I'm a pimp. Stand up like it was a murder charge. They wasn't telling me what it was for.
Right, man. Y'all got the wrong brother.
Unhand me.
Right? Me for?
Unhand me. Get your hands off me. I'm a pimp. Get off me.
Word.
You know, like it was legal. So,
right.
So so you never know, you know, because I never went home. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a light bail for the other case. And when you get another case in New York City, it doesn't matter what it is. If you got a bail and you're out, if you're out committing crimes while on bail and get arrested again, you get no bail. So they get no bail.
Rikers? They sent you right to Rikers at that point?
First it was the Manhattan house.
Okay.
The one in Manhattan and then the Rikers. You know what I'm saying?
And that's got to be insane because, you know, I know people that say Rikers is just like, you know, like Gully, you know, we got our holding center and everything else. And then you got people to go to Attica or what's the other one that's near us?
Wendy.
Yeah,
Wendy.
Correction.
I was in Wendy.
Okay.
Gowanda.
Yeah, that's all right around us, not
right
far.
Yeah, I was right up there. I was up there with a bunch of cats with 716 tats.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy is the difference is, you know, they'll put it in the holding center or whatever. Rikers, it's like all y'all go there. I've heard stories about dudes sitting there for 3 years before they ever actually go to the prison they're supposed to be at. You know, and it's like everybody's there, whether it's white collar murderer or whatever, y'all all together. That's insane.
All together.
That's
all
insane
together
to me.
And it's gladiator school.
Yeah,
it's gladiator school.
Nobody tested you or nothing. You were good.
Yo, you know what? I was pretty good, man, because I would go into a house. I'm not gangbanging. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I know bloods. I know all y'all niggas be. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about nothing in here. Don't nobody go in my motherfucking my food bin, and I'm getting on that phone. So what we got to do? And usually when you walk in there like that, niggas be like, yeah, hi, OG, man, come on, nah. This is your spot. You know what I'm saying? And then you're good. But if you walk in there timid and you're trying to use the phone in the daytime, I'm not using the phone at 2 in the afternoon, man. My people's is at work, man. You know what I mean? 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. slot. Nah, I'm not doing that, B. So whoever we gotta hit the bathroom and get these hands going, because half you young niggas can't fight anyway. You know, from our school, baby, we come from throwing them beans. You know what I mean? So,
right.
But nah, I didn't have to. I ain't have to get into nothing. I got into something when I got upstate, but other than that, you know what I'm saying? It was cool.
Good. So we have Chinchilla. You go from Chinchilla to the next one, which is my favorite album, probably title of all time, Pussy Rich. You know, we talked about this before. Gully, that's the name of the fucking album. I'm not lying. I can't make this shit up. I don't know if you've seen the album. Gully, I don't know if you've seen the album cover, my brother. But
nah, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, you should probably look at that album cover.
Yeah, you might want to look at
that. But it's a drawing. It's a drawing. It's pretty interesting. But
it came from a real photo, though.
You said it came from a real photo.
And then we made a drawing of it because people around me was like, yo, come on, man. You can't just put the real photo on it. I want to put the real joint.
See, back in the day, when you know how you used to have the vinyl albums, but it would open like 2 pieces and there'd be like a thing inside or a poster or something, like the old Prince joints. He'd have the poster like Vanity on there or something. You could have did that. The real photo is there you go.
Yeah, right.
The deluxe edition a few years from now, like on the anniversary. There you go. You ain't got to chop me off nothing, man. That was a freebie. There you go. Ahead, make it a poster. Make it a poster, a promotional poster. That joint right there is bugged out. I'm gonna tell you right now that album is bugged. Only because it just goes so hard with it. That one is different than the other ones. Like it seems like you get really deep into it, and you got some cats like the 8-Ball MJG and them cats in there. You went deep with it, you know, and you had what they came to see with Mario Winans, as I joked with you before, that you ruined that boy coming from the Winans family. You're gonna have him on that album, speaking that filth.
But he did it. We did it in Bad Boy Studios too.
Oh wow, okay.
On 44th Street.
Yeah, and that's on the Freddie uses the Freddie's Dead sample. You know that one, Gully. Dun dun dun. Dun, 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 you know, like I said, it's hard. It's hard for anybody to mess that up. Like I said, Smooth the Hustler did it dope on Hustling. You know, you had other people who have done it. You definitely did it justice. You did it a great justice. You know, I love that song right there. I also like Loud Pipes and Top of the Morning with Sauce Money and Soul Dean. The Top of the Morning. And Top of the Morning, I'm assuming is that because of what he does to you with the God Hour thing, or is that why you named it that?
No,
or
that was we weren't doing that as of yet.
Okay.
That was more on some, wake up, get your game right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Top of the morning to you. You know.
Right.
Now, see, between us, like, when you look at Bully, and you look at me, and you look at Gully, I'm the square dude. I stay on the sidewalk. I tell people I'm a certified square. Like, I'm not a sucker, but I was, you know how they say, yeah, if you want to be in the street, you stay on the sidewalk. I was the dude coming up that I'd be around all the dudes that was wild, and then when they started to get a little too wild, they'd be like, yo, D, you good in school and stuff. Go for it. You play basketball. You know I'm 6'4".
This ain't your time right here.
Yeah, this ain't. And they tell me, and my man Trevor, Trevor Ruffin, he used to play for the Sixers and all that.
Okay.
He's from Buffalo. I graduated him from high school. He said, Dame, he said, you know what? We was all talking. He said, we all lived in the same building. We was just looking out different windows. He said, you wasn't no sucker. You wasn't in this neighborhood with us. You saw the same shit we saw. He said, but when we saw that you were getting ready to do, he said, we would have been running things because we were smart. He said, I chose to go basketball. You chose to go with, baseball and basketball and schooling. And that's why those dudes now who went away and come back, I'm still friends with them. Like if I see them, they see you, oh, yo, because the love was always there. But yeah, that all goes to say I stayed on the fucking sidewalk.
And I love that you said it, because there's nothing, fam, there's nothing wrong with that, bro. And it's like this. That song, No Good For Me, I let the album out, not to reach too far yet. That's what that's about. I got to live my truth. This is what you might do, what you do, but it's no good for me. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about, man. I get you what? Bet you what? To this day, the cats that was in the streets, they'll shoot up a motherfucking building for you if somebody bother you.
No, they are like that. Yeah, they really are like that. They'll be like, yo, you got a problem? Be like, no, you can't do it like that, dude. No, fuck that. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. Please, you gotta kind of say to them, please don't, just leave it alone. I'm good. I got this.
You done saved a few lives out there.
I think I have. Yeah, there's been a few instances where people have taken things and be like, no, man, that's my man right there. We've had some cats and that's just how they are. They go off a thing of like you were always good to me, so we ain't never gonna let nobody do nothing to you. You never. I didn't judge people. You know what it is? We'd hang out and do whatever else, and I'd say, okay, y'all getting a little too wild, so it's time for me to go. I'm gonna go do this.
Yeah.
I'll see y'all tomorrow. And it was that type of thing. So I don't know what Gully. Huh?
No, I was saying, like he said, though, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's the best thing about it as a people, man, us knowing who we are. You know what I mean? Not putting on the front for nobody. I ain't got to try to act like this. Listen, man, I know who I am. Feel me? I know my personality, so I'm staying in my lane. That's what's going to be best for me. Nobody don't like that, then fuck them. Feel me?
Exactly. But real niggas going to respect that. What we hate, what real niggas, not even say real, that's one thing. What a nigga that's into that life hate is when you portray that you that.
Right.
Yeah. Then shit go down.
Right.
Then you in a district attorney office talking about you ain't that, but you was just that.
But now you ain't that.
Two examples of that in hip hop, but we ain't gonna get that no light.
Right, exactly. A lot of them. There's a lot of them. I've seen some strange things over the years, interviewing and doing different things and meeting cats over the years. You're like, oh, he's like that, really? So let me ask you this here. So we talked about Pussy Rich, which was awesome, and I still want you to do the poster one day. You do that when you do it. You got to talk to my people about that. That might be some good merch work right there. Especially the real picture, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you might get a bottle of champagne. What do you call it? A bottle of champagne, just show up at your door real quick.
Hey man, whatever. I'll take it. I'll never drink it. I'll just be sitting there with it like, I got this.
This my Wais P, the
pimp. I'll never drink it. I'll never open it. Be like, I'll never wash this arm again. He shook my hand. One of them shit. So then we go to Son of A, which is the new album.
Yeah.
And Son of A is produced by Team Demo.
Yeah.
Team Demo. Shout out to my man DJ Dalton Ant, who without him we wouldn't have this interview right here, Gully. He actually is the one who linked me up with Wais P. And because I asked him, I said, you think you can give me Wais P? He said, I'm sure he'd probably love to do it. And I'm like, yeah, right, in my head. And they were like, no, man, goddamn, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, bet. So I really appreciate Ant's a good dude. And they're
really good dude.
They're gonna be working with Bully on some stuff, so that's dope. They're fans of her music and everything else. Shout out to my sis. Son of A is a dope album. Son of A is I like the cover. I think that's dope. It's getting a lot of play actually in this area on some of the underground things, especially on Straight from the Underground with DJ Chris G.
Shout out to him, yeah.
And this interview is actually going to be on Biggie's Blackout is now on straightfromunderground.net, which is a 24-hour radio station. So our show is going to be on there. You're the first interview that's going to be
Oh
on there.
Lord.
Yeah, because we used to be on Rebel Radio 716, and that doesn't really exist anymore. Rest in peace to DJ Ruckus, who passed away, who actually ran that. But now we're on straightfromunderground.net, and you're our first interview for straightfromunderground.net. So we're gonna have that audio, and we'll put the visual up on YouTube. So
I like that. I feel great about that.
I wanted to go with you first. I said I want to go with Wais P. So, Son of a, my favorite joints on Son of a are No Good for Me, as you spoke about. John Singleton with Yogi, Fresh, Dopest, Flyest. I love the woman's voice on Dopest, Flyest.
Yeah,
that was just dope. And H&R Block. You're spitting game on the album. Lyrically, again, you demolishing it. I'm not an MC. Gully does battle rapping. I'm not an MC, and that's why I always wanted MCs around me on this show, because I love hip hop and I like that stuff. But I can't understand for the life of me how you can find so many different ways to talk about the things you're talking about.
Yeah,
It doesn't grow old. It doesn't sound old. You're not repeating the things from the other ones, but you're able to stay in that. I don't know if you can explain how y'all do it as writers. It's sort of like artists who are good at drawing. Like my son is an amazing artist, and I don't know when it happened. At one point, he was drawing a little bubble man, and the next thing he goes, "Dad, what do you think of this?" And I'm like, "Oh shit!" And now he just. I showed you before, Gully. You've seen some of the stuff, some of the anime stuff and all that. It's incredible stuff. He designed the album cover for an artist here in Buffalo, Elbiz, my man Elbiz, one who did the Planet Asia song with Planet Asia. So I mean, at what point? I mean, how do you keep coming up with all these fresh ideas? I know there's subject matter in life, but how do you talk about that stuff without repeating stuff that you said already? And I don't know. Am I making sense to you?
yeah, you are. Well, here's my thing, right? I think all artists, we all have a certain level of crazy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's that old insanity genius thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? No matter what it is. That's why so many artists, from the 60s and 70s to now have been so flawed. Heroin addicts and alcoholics or just some people that do crazy shit, jumping off of balconies and throwing women off back. Like, I just think we have a certain level of insanity that allows us to reach out. Only you know your son, so I don't know what level of insanity he's at. But he's probably done some stuff some days. You're like, what are you doing?
Oh, he's crazy. Oh yeah, he got some crazy shit to him. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's that untapped genius that he has. You know what I'm saying? And Bully has. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like that's what we tap into. The H&R Block. What happened to comedy and hip hop? Niggas don't make comedy no more. Jay-Z made Cashmere. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Bitch, your good foot. You know what I'm saying? All that shit. Like, people, they don't make the comedy anymore. So that's why I did H&R Block, because I know every year niggas just tired of, these women acting funny when they get that tax refund. I ain't the only one. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So let's talk about that. You know what I mean? So I think to answer your question, that's what it is. There's a level of insanity that has an untapped region that we continue to dig into that region and come up with fresh ideas. You know what I mean? Hopefully.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this here. How did you get Nitty Scott? How'd you get her?
Nitty Scott. Nitty's that's my sister. Shout out to Nitty Scott. Mm-hmm. And she has a certain level of crazy. she had a tough upbringing, and mm-hmm. She lets it out in her music, and she wanted to spar. The record, we disrespecting each other. She won. That's okay. Yeah. The record is great. So like we talked about before, it turns from a misogynist record into a female empowerment record. Mm-hmm. Everybody who hears that, they say, yeah, we look at it like she was empowered, and I'm like, yes, that's what I wanted to happen. You know what I'm saying? So she was down to lyrically spar. She was down to say her, telling me to lick 6 clits and drive her to a pap smear. I was offended. But it was brilliant.
Yeah, it was dope.
Again, that's that level of crazy. Right. When you don't have that level, somebody offends you, you're like, oh, I'm offended. Nah, I understand you're crazy, Nitty. And she killed it, man. Shout out to her for doing it and letting me use it, because we had done it some time ago when she exploded. You know what I'm saying? So she could have told me no. So shout out to her.
And that song is called Odd Couple for the listeners, if you're not aware of it. It's on the Son of an album. Odd Couple is dope. It's in that same vein of Who You Jacking with Master Ace and Paula Perry from off the Slaughterhouse joint, and It's a Man's World with Cube and Yo-Yo.
Too Short, Don't Fight the Feeling.
Yeah.
But, I forget the girls that was on that Supersonic. They sang the song Supersonic.
Yeah. I think from JJ Bad. Yeah, I think from off of there. I like the joints like that, and the woman really came off. You started off, you was talking shit, and she was kind of like, fuck out of here, and I like it. It was dope, but it fits so well. And like I said, to see a female MC who wouldn't have just been like, oh, he talks pimp shit, I'm not gonna get on this song with him. I like that too, because she's a respected, Nitty Scott is a respected MC.
She speaks at colleges.
Right.
He like goes to colleges and speaks. He gets the bag for that.
Right. So she's dope. That out.
Dope human being.
Tell me, because I'm going to end up interviewing Team Demo as well. I already told Ant he has no choice. But how did you link up with them?
Again, it's that whole level of crazy. Like, dudes is insane. Like, Tony's a great dude, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if you've ever been in the studio with him. He'll just start singing some shit that has nothing to do with the session. And and my man Cozy, he's a nut, you know what I mean? And we linked on. I always go down to the DMV because my business manager, the Fuhrer, my man, Travis Trapp, he lives down there. So we kind of run the business, out of his crib. And that's where all the merch goes and all that. So, I'm always down there. And once we linked, man, it just became like family. Like, my features, my production, it's never generic with me. It's always a connection. I don't reach out to cats I don't fuck with for features. You know what I'm saying? If you reach out to me, you want to do something, you do it, it's cool. But I need to have a rapport. Like I explained to you the Paul Wall record on Chinchilla. Like everything he talked about in the round, we did that night. He went to Fat Buddha, we performed, we closed the club down, we sat there with the owners, we're in the bottom of the club where they hold all the, the liquor, wholesale liquor and all that. And we're rolling dice and smoking blunts and drinking, and and he put it in the record. You know what I'm saying? We went from there at 5, 6 in the morning straight to the studio and then did the record. Everything he's talking about in the record happened that night.
That's crazy. And the fact that he was able to just boom, 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 boom. I don't think he gets enough credit because he actually is dope.
Yeah.
I think he's dope. He doesn't get enough credit for what he did do and what he does. I don't think that he gets enough credit at all. You had Yogi on the new album as well.
Yes.
Now, as I said, Yogi, for people that don't know, was a producer / MC from Crew. As I said, Dirty 30. And then he went on to be part of Bad Boys Hitmen, right? Part of the production team with them for a minute, I believe.
Yeah.
And then we didn't hear from him for a while. What the heck has Yogi been up to? I mean, where's he been? I mean,
he's been producing. I know he's got a bunch of
You okay, baby?
Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Come in. Yo, Lizzie, you all right? You good? Sorry about that.
Oh,
my
no,
niece,
man. It's life,
sure
brother.
She wasn't choking to death.
No, that's what I'm saying. Make sure she's good, But
so yeah, he's been producing and he's been I don't know everything he's been doing, but I know he started doing this whole new thing now where he's like this hook god. Like there's records that you haven't heard that I have with him that are just insane. And he just brings the beat to life. So shout out to Yogi. Been loving working with him.
And he always had that voice. It's kind of like that anyway. So, he had kind of funny sound of voice. People say he sounded like Q-Tip a little bit. A little. There was some, you could hear back during the Crew days. But I liked his voice. And as soon as I heard it, I'm like, wait a minute. Now, look, I said, oh, Yogi, okay, all right. I'm glad you got him on there. I would love to hear the other joints, too. Gully, did you have anything in particular that you any other things you wanted to ask him at all on here? Because there was a couple of things I did want to ask him about your live performances. And
I wanted to ask him because I see we mentioned Sauce Money a couple of times. The Back Bitches joint That joint, that record, you know, I heard that joint, you know what I mean? Said, yeah, I stand up. I came in the game 200 grand up and ain't sold one record, buying land up. Tough. That was tough right there. You know what I mean? For me hearing that, it was like, yeah, just understanding that whole vibe and feel. How was that like doing, you know, because I see you doing more with Sauce Money, but how is that, the chemistry working together?
Sauce is a tough dude, man. Just because he's my brother don't mean he's going to do a record. He'll turn down 7, 8 records before. He's real picky, man. I love him, man. And I'm glad he's real, because every time I ask him, I hope he's going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't give a fuck about nothing. He 100% real, don't care about what you're selling, what's going on, he don't care. Bag nothing. If he don't think you nice, or if he don't feel a joint, he's not doing it. So the fact that he did it was dope. So
More
that
people
made
should
me
be like that. More people should be like that. Definitely.
We get better music if more people would be like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think we have an era. Like I said, you know, I think I'm the oldest one here. But we come from a time where before it was like, yo, if I didn't believe what you were saying, or if I looked at you kind of funny, I'm not doing a song with you. You know, I'm just not going to do a song with you just because you're paying a lot of money. Now people will say, oh, he's hot, I'm going to do a song with him. Even if you think he's in your head, you're like, oh, this sucker motherfucker. Let me just do this song real quick and get this money. No, man, you ain't supposed to do that, you know?
Yeah.
And so I respect things like what you said, or I respect the Sauce Money or whatever. I mean, I once asked my man who was a producer, I said back in the day, he couldn't stand George Michael. I said, you wouldn't do a song with George Michael? He was like, hell no, I don't care how much money you paid me. I would never do it. Then my other man was like, why couldn't you do a song with him and make it the best George Michael song ever? So that was their different ways of looking at it. But my man was just one of the ones who was just like, hell no, I don't like him. He's a culture vulture. Back then, that wasn't the word, but that's what he meant. He's like, no, I'm not doing it. No, hell no.
And then we see what happened with George Michael. So maybe your man had a premonition. Maybe your man was like, I'm not standing next to that.
Great.
Right. I think that might have been it. He knew something. He knew something was up, right? Something ain't right here. Something's just not adding up. So yeah, see, he knew something, you know. But when you perform live, you said your live performances, do you do the songs from the mixtapes, or like what songs are there any like particular songs that you always perform? I would assume You See It is probably one that people demand to hear, right?
Definitely. It depends. It depends on where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And what I'm doing, and depending what's out at the time, what I know people are gonna fuck with. I always do the joint from me and CeeLo Green. I'll do my verse from that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do the Jay-Z records unless it's that type of vibe, a throwback kind of vibe, because I want people to know me from what I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? So I pretty much stick to the new records. I love to come out. When I come out to the You See It, I don't know if you guys know it or not, but that's a sample from the movie Carrie. You know what I'm saying? They're all gonna laugh at you, remember Carrie?
Oh yeah.
They're
all gonna her mother, right?
Yeah, I come out to the Carrie shit, the original movie shit, and then it flips into that. So the people, when they recognize it, they go, oh, you know what I'm saying? So they don't know where that came from.
Laugh at you. Yeah, my man used to always say that when we was playing basketball. If I got dunked on or something, my man Boo would be like, "They're all gonna laugh at you." I'm like, "Yo, man, go sit down somewhere." So you have that, and you got the different songs that you always perform, and so of course people are gonna want to hear these songs. What's next up for you as far as another album? I mean, right now we're working Son of Us, obviously, you know.
First of all, you got to go out and get Son of Us so you can follow the journey. One of the most amazing things that happened to me with Son of Us, I've been getting calls from rappers. I'm saying, I say everybody, but Lord Jamal called me and was like, yo, I listened to that 3 times. You took me into your world. Like I wasn't in my world no more. You took me in that world. That means a lot to me when your peers give you your respect.
Right.
I got an album coming with D-Dot, Derek Angeletti.
Nice.
You know, of Hypnotize fame, and I'm coming up, all the bad boy hits, and Cough Up a Lung, Marcy, so I mean, him got a whole joint coming. Got Smoke Diz on there, bunch of features on there. Joey Badass on there, shout out to him. I got another album coming right after that that's pretty much done with Dame Grease.
Nice.
Get At Me Dog fame, Will Always Love You Big Papa, you know, all that. You know, I can go on for days with these 2 cats. Accolades. Them joints is done. I'm talking about I got a joint called Character Flaws.
Now, see, I'm
Just
waiting.
nuts. I got a joint with
now.
Pete Twist. Pete Twist, if you haven't heard of him, underground producer, fire. Got a whole joint with him. Yeah, all these hoes got character flaws. Oh my God. Just comedy. You know what I'm saying? It's great.
I like comedy. Comedy, you know, comedy is good. Comedy is good. You know, Slick Rick with the Great Adventure. Slick Rick had the comedy, but he was just saying some ill shit, but it was comedy.
Yeah.
You know?
But lyrically sound.
Yes.
Yeah, at the same time, it's necessary. It's necessary in the game. I wanted to ask you too, far as your growth throughout your career, right now, to, you know, because like you said, you rap about your life experiences, what you're going right now. Is it a specific type of audience you targeting now on this come out?
I belong to the underground. That's what I tell you about it. I belong to y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's who I belong to. That's my audience. If the other audience picks it up, you know, great, more checks. You know what I'm saying? But I belong to the underground. I don't want to disappoint the lyricists. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to disappoint you. You know what I mean? I want to know that you get it, you pick it up, you're like, okay, he's one of us. You know what I mean? It's like the acting community before Terrence Howard blew up. Everybody used to talk about him like he's one of us. He's one of the greats. And all of a sudden he took off. You know, we know who's who.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whether you sold $1 million or you live in your mama crib, we know who's who. You know what I'm saying? And I belong to that.
And we appreciate that. We definitely appreciate that. You know, it's funny you said like Terrence Howard. You think of people like Wood Harris and all that, and it's like, you know, those are the ones that we know them. You know, and it's the same with you. We know you. You know, we know that those who are listening know what you can do, and that's why this show is like that. I get casted. I don't go with who's hot. I go with who I personally like. So, you know, people might say, why don't you get this person? Because I don't want to. I want this person.
Yeah.
And this is my way of giving the flowers to these people while they're around and saying, yo, I appreciate what the fuck you're doing. I really do. Before you go, have you ever, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but have you ever given any thought to, or had there ever been any communication with you and maybe Rock Nation, Jay-Z, or anything, trying to maybe deal with them again because of your prior relationship?
My distribution deal. Some of it came out on EQ.
Really?
Yeah, that's an arm of Rock Nation. When I first came home and I put out Chinchilla, my phone rang immediately, and it was Bleak. He's like, yo, if you're gonna put out albums, put it out through EQ.
Nice.
And we linked everything up, and yeah.
I didn't know that, because unfortunately, and I tell Gully this, you know, I told y'all before, I'm a collector. You can see some CDs behind me back there, you know, back there.
Yeah, I see.
There. Wherever I came up with the camera. But if it's not physical, I can't actually see everything when it's dropped, as far as when it streams, when I go on, like on Apple, I get the music and I have it. So like if there's a physical copy out there, a lot of stuff, Gully, you know, like Griselda, a lot of their stuff, you can't get physical stuff unless you get it at their show, you know, like limited edition for $60 or some shit, you know. So they got you, but it's like, if you want it, you're gonna pay for this shit, right? Shout out to Griselda, Buffalo, New York, you know.
Definitely.
But so when you put out stuff, I didn't know what it was on. I think you have your own label though, right? That you started.
Yes, it's Every Hood Records.
Every Hood.
/EQ.
Okay. See, I only see Every Hood. That's all I see. It's Every Hood. That's all I see. I don't see the EQ part. So I never knew that. That's good to know.
Shout out to EQ for leaving it out of there. I like that. You know me.
Now I'm a snitch. You see that, yo? I'm a snitch now.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's I got Every Hood through EQ. I got Up Top Music Group, which has more of the younger talent. I'm working with them. A cat named G's Gasoline is pretty big. Him and China Mac got a whole joint together. We got a joint with Sleepy Hollow, you know, that East Coast Brooklyn drill music. Let the young boys do what they do. And another artist named Took the Lokester, you know what I'm saying?
I've heard of him.
Yeah, G's Gasoline has 3 songs with Bobby. We trying to get cleared through Epic. Epic is acting funny right now, you know. So we trying to get that done. So yeah, I'm working with you know, the next wave too, you know what I'm saying? And so as far as Rock Nation, to get back to your question, yeah, I'm with EQ, so it's all good. I got no problems over there. I got no issues with nobody. What Jay did for me was more than I knew a lot of cats. You know, my man cousin was Steve Stout. You know what I'm saying? And he never did a thing for us. You know, Jay did a lot for us, so I'm appreciative of it.
Nice. That's good to hear, man. I love to hear that. You hear so many stories and people are saying different things or whatever. I mean, once the relationship is over, as far as, you know, off the label, I mean, I guess nobody owes anybody anything. But the fact that somebody like Bleak would reach back out and say, "Yo, man, if you're gonna do this, come on," that says something about their character. Says something about
Bleak a real one. But you know, that obviously filtered down from the big homie. He just didn't call me himself. You know what I'm saying? Because it's his call at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's son of love. You know, a lot of cats get caught up chasing other cats' pockets. You know what I mean? That's why I had loved the pimp game, to get back to why I miss it. You know what I'm saying? Because it gave me such a financial freedom where I ain't had to be mad at nobody. You know what I'm saying? When I was talking 200 grand on the joint, I was running around calling myself Quarter Mil Kevin. You know what I mean? I had a 5,000 foot square house and 4 cars. You know what I mean? I'm like, nigga, I'm rapping for fun, nigga. Fuck is y'all talking about? You know what I mean? I ain't mad at nobody. But you know, get bitter when cats get bitter when they pockets is fucked up.
Okay, can I ask you a question here really quick? And I need to know this here, because you have said this before and I didn't really touch on it. And so I'm going to here. You're talking about the pimping and everything else. When you were doing that, and you know, God has changed you now, you're a changed man and everything else. Right? You're a different man now, you know. I mean, you see the old movies and you hear about gorilla pimping, you hear all this other stuff. When somebody decides to go into business with you in that era, how does that even, how do they know they want to, and how do you, because what I've heard from dudes was that, oh no, they want to. This ain't no coercion type of thing. This is something they want. I mean,
somebody told you right. Yeah. I have never, ever approached a woman and gave her that business option and she slapped me or threw a drink in my face. They always go, oh. You know what I'm saying? They always think about it. You got to understand. Mothers tell their daughters, use what you got
to get what you want.
That's been the way it is. You know what I'm saying? And I would, you know, what happens is they got to understand. You're going to go to dinner. He's going to spend $50 on dinner, $50 on a movie, $100 throwing drinks in you, and you're going to fuck him for free and go home with the same problems. Why not skip the bullshit and get the money? And protect yourself at the same. People run around and say, you know, oh, prostitutes are nasty. Well, prostitutes give head with a condom and fuck with a condom. Now, all of us have been regular dudes. We know we can get head in the bathroom at the club if we got a bottle on the table. Raw daddy.
Yeah.
So who's really cleaner? She may see 10, 20 people, but she's protected. You not.
I have a very good friend who I went to high school with, who used to do adult films, and she was, you know, she and I have a friend who still does them, but the one I went to high school with, she was like, well, we're the ones getting tested all the time and everything else. We probably cleaning these benches out here doing all sorts of this crazy stuff. And I was just, I never thought of it like that. And that's what she said. I'm like, never really thought of it like that. People like, they nasty, they this and that. And she said she used to strip and do all this other stuff. And she said, well, there's girls out here screwing for Happy Meals. I might as well get paid for it. I guess if you have that mindset and that's how you truly are looking at it, and that's what you want to do. I mean, you have to have a certain type of personality to be able to do it.
But when I was in it, I had girls driving S550s. Pimps used to pull me over and be like, yo, man, you got these bitches driving better cars than us. You know what I'm saying? Like, these bitches are really getting it. You know what I'm saying? Putting money down on property. You know what I'm saying? It was just business. And about the gorillas, there are gorillas out there. Mm-hmm. But I got the game from smooth cats. You know, if your tongue is your weapon. You know what I mean? Your tongue is a motherfucking sword. You know what I mean? Like it say in the Bible. Nigga, if you ain't got no game to talk the bitch into what you do, you get out the game. You know what I'm saying? You know, pimping got to be in you, not on you. You can't put on a shirt and become a pimp. You got to be in all 206 bumps. Hold up, you taking me back. What's going on around here?
Yeah, I noticed that. Yo, Gully, I was a little bit transfixed there for a second. It was like he started preaching a little bit. Did you see that? I was like, I'm listening. And I'm like, damn, how can I need him to put me on. I need to get out here. You know?
Now my man out of Portland, Oregon, man, saw Shoot Charlie, man, an older pimp, retired with a bunch of houses, chilling. Mm-hmm. He told me, man, if your hands always on the bitch, young pimp, if you always beating on the bitch in your hands, how you gonna put your hands in your pockets on your money? Your hands always on the bitch. keep your hands on your money, man. If the bitch is a headache, fire more bitches than you hire. You know what I'm saying?
Mean slogan.
Yo, Gully.
Yeah.
This is the first and the last episode of Biggie's Blackout. We're going into a different field. Right now, we about to go and get this money. No, I'm joking. Listeners, I'm joking. It's not. Viewers, it's a joke.
Nah, we keep it in music, baby.
Chris
We
G
keep it
is
in
a
music.
joke.
Definitely,
It's a joke.
definitely music, man.
Yo, but that was real, and you really did just kind of. Like I said, though, the family member I had, you know, when he was like, I used to be able to sit there and just listen to him, like, wow. And I've met old cats who's like, man, you know, da 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 da, I make pay with it way and da 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 da, and going all this different stuff, and I'm just like, I would just love talking to these dudes. They come to the barber shop and they talking, man, I used to do da da da, and I'm sitting there, I could talk to them for hours, you know, and it's just amazing. But they were not dudes who were like, man, I ain't beating up on a woman, man. If you ain't got game, you let her leave your world, man.
That's
you
it.
That's what you'd always say. You let her leave your world. You ain't got time for that. Don't put your hands on her.
You fuck around, catch a stroke. You in the hospital. The bitch still out here fucking on the next nigga. You know what I mean? You all stressed out.
Right.
No, we ain't doing that.
Let her do it. Let her do what she's gonna do.
That's it.
Yeah, but man, this was a great interview.
Yeah, man.
I
Thanks for having me,
you
man.
coming back again to us, man. I know you're busy and you got a lot of things going on. I just want to say a couple of quotes to you real quick before you go that I love that you had. As I said before, the one I came back because all these sing-songy niggas on You Never Know. I'm glad you did come back because there's too many sing-songy motherfuckers. Everybody's singing.
Thank you.
You know, so I appreciate a good lyric. What is that? What was it? Oh yeah, you want a verse? Dan Fouts, I gotta charge you. You know.
Yeah.
I appreciated that because Dan Fouts, listeners, Dan Fouts was a quarterback for the San Diego Chargers. Dan Fouts, Charger. All your knuckleheads out there that don't know what he's talking about. Gully gets it. The listeners, hopefully you do.
He won us.
And the other joint was Tiger Woods used to scream for, but working girls always knew that he screamed for more.
Yeah.
All lessons. And that was pretty funny because Tiger Woods was, man, he was running through him. He was loving them right word bond, wasn't he? Tiger Woods lost.
I wish he was paying my bitches back then. I wouldn't have let him happen to that nigga.
Tiger Woods lost a lot of money loving them right. He lost a lot over them girls, right? You know, he wouldn't give them a dime. They said the one girl was like, I just need like $200 to pay my rent. He was like, I can't do that. Why would you ask me that? I can't do that. Why would you even ask me to do that for you? I'm like, damn, he's cold as hell. He's ice cold.
I ain't giving nothing, man.
He wouldn't give him nothing. He was like, we straight smashing.
If he would, but see, here's the thing. What motherfuckers don't know. If he would have been paying working girls, he would have never got told on. His wife would have never found out. He would have been having all the variety he wanted, anything he wanted, and he would have been safe. Just pay the fee, nigga.
he was messing around with girls that he met and they knew he was Tiger Woods, and then he started treating them like, and as soon as he got hemmed up, they all start coming out the woodwork talking about, I messed with him. It's like, damn, you could see
what's happening in TI. Look, I don't want to talk about nothing for the Me Too movement come get us, but listen, prediction. Fit. Well, you see what happened to Bill Cosby with the Quaaludes and all that shit? That was the drug of his time. Remember, Wais P said this, 10, 15 years, all these rappers talking all this Molly shit, all them bitches is coming back and saying, we did Molly, we couldn't consent. We was out of our mind. I need the bag. That's going to happen in our lifetime. In our lifetime. Remember I said it. That's going to happen. 10, 20 years from now, they're going to come back. I was on Molly when he fucked me. I was on ecstasy. Yeah, I consented, but once I took it, I can't consent.
All inhibitions were gone, and I couldn't do anything else at that point. I think you are going to see some more come out. Yeah, I think you are going to see some more things come out, man. And just I'm not saying some people aren't telling the truth, but I think that
we're not saying
that comes out, you do have others that just say, well, fuck it, I'm gonna get me a bag too. I'm gonna go for it. Worst thing that happened is they ain't putting us in jail for making it up. So all they gonna say is,
at the end of the day, logistically, morally, if a woman does that, then she's wrong because she knew she was getting into. But logistically, it's true because if you're around a drunk bitch and she's too drunk, we as men know she's sloppy drunk. I'm not touching this bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's that's what it is. So and alcohol is legal. So now you got an illegal substance in the mixer, and you're taking somebody out of their parameters that they saying they're making decisions that they normally wouldn't make. It's gonna get nasty.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
That's a
Yeah,
whole
I
fast.
definitely stay away from it. I'm like,
That's
nope,
a
Yeah.
whole
nope,
fast.
nope, nope,
Nope.
no. And I had people coming up, in your face drunk. You like, get away from me.
I'm
I'm
Yeah,
good.
good.
I'm good.
I need you sober a
Yeah.
little bit. So Wise, man, we appreciate you, man. Gully, you got anything you want to say before we go?
Yeah, just one more question I have for him, man. What game could you give any up and coming artists, man, that something that you could tell them that they could take from this interview and go on with life with, whether it's for music or not?
And we mean game, we mean hip hop, okay? Keep it
Oh,
clean,
game,
Wise.
yeah.
Hip hop game.
Information, knowledge. My fault.
Yo, don't
Gotta be
chase
careful.
radio. Don't chase radio because it doesn't matter unless the money that the record companies are spending on radio, you can't compete with. I got a list of 1.5, 900,000 they spend on their radio. You can't compete with that. Don't chase radio. Find your fan base. Get your core fan base. You understand what I'm saying? And because if you can get 1,000 people, just 1,000 people to spend $100 with you a year, you got $100,000 a year business. You know what I'm saying? So I promote that. That's what you should be focused on. And live your truth, man. Live your truth in your music. If you a square, if you a nerd, rap about that. Look at my man. What was a Kick Push dude? You know what I'm saying? Fire, Lupe Fiasco's, ill lyricist, living his truth. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about, man. You know what I mean? Put your life on the music because there's people going through what you're going through, and they wanna slide with that. That's my advice.
I respect that, man. We appreciate
some great
that,
advice
man.
right there.
You have any plans? Give us what your social media and your website, because I know you sell merchandise on your website. What's your website address?
WaisPmusic.com, WAISP music.com. It's Wais P Music at Instagram, Facebook, all of that. Facebook actually is Wais P Brooklyn. Go on there, get you some merch. I got some different things coming, that's gonna be real pimpish. You know what I mean? Varsity jackets, they're gonna have leather sleeves, they're gonna have gator sleeves. I got the hoodies up there right now. Huh?
How much is that gonna cost with some gator sleeves? Can't
Can't
nobody afford that.
But my fans are of a certain age, but they got jobs.
Okay. It's true. I have one, so I guess I could.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Buy you some fly shit. You know what I'm saying? But right now we just got the hoodies and we have socks up there. Starting my own wine company. I fly out to Napa in May to taste the grapes. It's called Selwyn Blah. It's me and my partner that I did time with. His last name is Blah. My middle name is Selwyn. I wanted to do champagne, but with the COVID, I had learned that I didn't know this, that wine has to be converted to sparkling in the Champagne region of France to be considered champagne. That's why you have sparkling wines and then you have champagnes. So it's not cost effective in the COVID. So I'm gonna start with regular wine, and all that's coming, man. Got Team Demo. I'm working with them, placing projects and beats. Up Top Records, Every Hood, Took Loxa, Cheese Gasoline, Wais P, man. We working, man.
Dope. And you have on your website, you do still have some physical copies of It's in the Game. I saw that, and I gotta get one of those. I'm gonna order one of those.
It's in the Game, Chinchilla vinyl, all of that, man. So
you ever gonna put Random Pimp and Primo Pimpin' out on a CD like just ever or no?
I don't think, because the Primo Pimpin', those I would have to broker that, but I don't think I can do Random Pimp because what I mean, that's Random Acts. So I never even went down that rabbit hole, but maybe if I asked, they might we could work out some splits. I'm saying we'll figure it out, but I might just let it be what it's gonna be, man. Let it be a classic times like that.
I got them. I downloaded it and burnt it onto a CD, so I have it.
Nice.
And is Son of a available on vinyl?
Not yet. We're working on it. This COVID got everything backed up. Yeah, they're talking June for that. It's nasty out here, but we're working on it. See if we can get something closer. I definitely want to get some vinyl to the people and some CDs.
Okay, so you know what? Just keep working, man, and we love the music. Keep promoting this album. Just, I would say, I mean, you know better than me. You the artist. Just push it until you can't push it no more, and then drop something else, man. You will always have our support. Biggie's Blackout.
Appreciate that.
You always have our support, man, and we will always spread the word. And Ann is my man, so I talk to him all the time. He's a hilarious dude. We talk and laugh about lots of different things. Yeah, he is. He's a funny guy, man. That dude is funny. So man, we love you, man. We love your music. We want to give you the flowers. We want to give you the salute, man. And stay safe.
Man.
Don't walk too fast out there in that thin air. And just just take it slow. Just take it slow, bro. But man, Wais, thank you, man. We really appreciate you. From Biggie's Blackout, man. We're gonna sign off. Gully for Gully D. Salute, and King. Pretty Bully as well. Hold on. You broke up one more time.
I had to give you one. Son of a.
There it is. All right, brother. Thank you very much, bro.
All right,
all right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.